are the best film of the year and the best sci-fi film in the past decade. It is a cinematic masterpiece.
Joshua, take care of her.
I promise. It's breathtaking in scale and vision. See this film on the biggest screen possible.
Oh, seatbelt.
The Creator, rated PG-13. Get tickets now.
Background, by the way, super cool.
Thank you very, very, very much. So let's get started. My name is Najir Chambers of Big Go Belt Media, and for audio purposes, can you two introduce yourself and your titles, please?
Sure. I'm Jay Cooper. I was the ILM visual effects supervisor on the movie.
I'm Andrew Roberts, and I was the onset visual effects supervisor for ILM.
Thank you very much. And we're here to talk about the Creator, which is coming to theater September 29th. And in all due respect, I do love conventional theaters, but without a doubt, this is the film that you see in IMAX, Dolby Cinemas, 4DX, ScreenX, the biggest and best available out there. I really want to thank you two for what you have brought to this film. It is an epic. It is granular. It is, even without words, the visuals alone are breathtaking. And you two are no strangers to putting out some blockbusters here, from Avatar now to this. And I just want to start off with that. What has the journey been like for you all, from creating something as special as Avatar to now bringing the Creator, which is truly a revolutionary film?
Yeah. I don't know. Andrew, you want to take that one?
Sure. Well, thank you, Najir. Pleasure to be here with you. It was a great experience. And for some large blockbusters, often you can be sort of a bit detached from the characters and really be about the visuals. You know, Gareth really focused on the characters, the emotion, that real question about what is true love. What does it mean to be human and conscious? And that was his focus. And then we really then added the visual effects to support that. Some of the touchstones that Gareth mentioned originally, things like Baraka and Apocalypse Now and Blade Runner, and just that sort of documentarian observation of the world that you really see in Baraka was something that, as you see the film, you see moments that aren't necessarily directly tied to the storyline, but just really add that emotion and texture and background, and sort of fill out the world that we're experiencing. So it was a great experience. It was really a pleasure to be a part of this.
I just to add on to that, I've been working in visual effects for probably about 30 years, and I can count on one hand the number of times where I read a script or I see the concept art and it's original and different and amazing and exciting and challenging. And that was the feeling that I had, I guess 3 years ago when I was brought onto this project. It was just, I just looked at it and I go, wow, I'm in from the jump. The imagery is just phenomenal, as you said. The locations that Gareth went to were interesting and exotic. And then the other thing that was really interesting to me is sort of his approach, right? The idea that he was going to go to these locations, not really have a shot list, not that he would have specifically set up what the embellishments or the visual effects were going to be in the moment. And then we would do a large amount of design after the fact to create this world. That's challenging and exciting at the same time.
That is a great segue, because Jay, I did a little research on you and research about what's like your flavor ice cream, shall I say. But before I even get to that, I like how you humbly say, oh, we went to some locations. Y'all went to 80 locations. This is the biggest factor of why this film is game changer. When Gareth explained how taking a smaller crew to go to more locations was more cost friendly than continuously building locations or sets in these things, which was just mind blowing. The more and more I kept hearing it run back, I said, like, this is absolutely going to change cinema going forward. I want to know, with this unique process of this smaller crew but more locations, how did this affect the visual effects process? And obviously, with one of you being on set and one of you being sort of at base, what is the conversations that you two are having through this unique process?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, Andrew definitely was put through the ringer. He wore many hats on set. And like you were saying, you know, I think Gareth's dream, if I'm completely honest, is probably 10 people in a van, like just keep on traveling around. The movie's bigger than that. And obviously a number of stars, the stars involved demand a higher level of comfort. Not that, you know, as you would want. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the idea, like put as much of the money on the screen as you can, travel as much as you can, lean into as many unique locations. Those are really exciting. Andrew and I were in close contact through large portions of the film. The time zone didn't always help us, so you know, there was challenges along the way. And the other component is that Gareth, his shooting style is one where he wants to have really long takes. Like I think that he tells a story of like, well, we just, you know, working with one of his ADs or camera people that, well, we just did it. And he's like, well, what did we just do? It's like, we just ran the longest take I've ever had. And it was something like a 25-minute take where, you know, he's just resetting and framing and all those sorts of things. Those don't lend themselves naturally well to visual effects. Usually the way it works is we'll stop, we'll get some measurements, we'll shoot an HDRI, we'll do some witness photography, all those sorts of things. So we didn't necessarily have all of those tools that we use back at base. And then we just leaned into being uncomfortable and we just prepared as best we could. And we knew that the trade-off we were making was not as much prep imagery, but more authenticity and more options for greater variety of background, which was totally fine by me.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that authenticity, yeah, that's a great point. The Thai crew mentioned, a number of them were saying we've never been to this location before. Like of course, sort of being local to Thailand, they're used to, okay, yeah, this is the tunnel location that everyone shoots, or this is, you know, the sort of iconic beach location. But there are a number of places like where Joshua, he has to disconnect that robot, the solar powered robot that wakes up and then is looking for Amy, the child that was in her care. That was set in a quarry that a bunch of them are like, we've never been here before, this is amazing. And Gareth took some joy in, like, I'm checking these off the list like no one's ever been, you know, I'm the first to be there. So those unique environments were a great foundation for the work to be built upon. So at times we were just there for a day or two. Other locations, say for the tank battle and that whole sequence on the bridge, we shot there. It was 5 different locations, different parts of that little town on an area called Mon Bridge that we shot there for a little under 2 weeks. So it really was about focusing on, okay, I need to make sure that I get lighting information from this area because I know that the key element is taking place here, and reference photography for others. So it was, it was definitely on my feet, moving around, and in very, very close conversation with Jay to send him reference photos of what I'm seeing and to make sure that I'm getting the pieces that the team needs. And then regular meetings, you know, every morning I would normally talk with Gareth and then also our DP, Oren, who was on set with us, to go through the storyboards. We just had storyboards. We didn't have an opportunity to go into previs because Gareth didn't want to be locked into, this is the way I'm shooting it. As Jay said, Gareth would often reframe and then refocus and capture things from multiple angles to see what will be sort of get the best emotion over in post. So yeah, it was a very kind of dynamic ongoing experience, but yeah, really privileged. It was really, really cool to be part of this.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. I really could talk for hours here, so many questions, but I think the most important thing is you all have created something really, really, really special. This is an epic, and it is now our opportunity, the fans, to get out there and support the creator, which is coming to theaters September 20th.
You make me feel so good. I love it.
Thank you.
We poured our hearts into it. I'm so happy to hear your reaction. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we get to talk again very, very soon.
Anytime.
Forward to it. Thanks so much. Take care.
Yep.